Welcome to episode 9 of Book Brothers. I'm Michael Zubal.
I'm Tom Zubal.
And we're here at Electric Zubaland Studios in beautiful pastoral Brecksville, Ohio, which is a southerly suburb of Cleveland.
Yeah, we just finished rehearsal with the Slap Jazz Quartet, and the drummer and other guitarists are now, I guess they're doing some serious work outside involving, looks like Columbus IPA.
I was hoping they were going to cut the lawn, but I think you're right.
Well, it started to sprinkle, so they can't do that.
Now, I'm going to tell a story in a minute, and it's going to involve beer to some extent, but it's certainly not going to involve a delicious IPA from downstate.
Unfortunately. For you.
For me. And there are moments of Flannery O'Connor and Raymond Carver in the story of which I'm going to relate.
Awesome. And now we're back to our normal format. We don't have a special guest this week, but again, we want to thank Michael Zinman for his appearance at our last podcast.
He was wonderful. We failed to mention that he's an author of a book, at least one book. It's called The History of the Ratapillar Tractor Company. Notice I said Ratapillar and not Caterpillar.
What's a Ratapillar?
A Ratapillar is a similar device like a caterpillar. Zinman wrote a book detailing his business adventures with the Ratapillar Tractor Company.
Is it fact or fiction?
I believe it's fact. It's typical Zinman obsequiousness and cynicism, but it's a wonderful, hilarious read.
Is it available online?
At Zubal.com.
Oh,
yes.
Great.
So
fantastic.
you can pick up a copy there if you like. But Michael was just a wonderful guest, and maybe we'll have guests in the future. I don't know.
I think we will.
All right, that's cool.
That was the original intent. If you go back to episode 1 and listen to our first episode, we said we would do that.
And we finally confirmed that.
Yeah.
Made it happen.
Cool. So, tell us about what happened?
What we're going to talk about today is a trip I took with Diana in the middle of winter. It was around the end of January, and I had 4 or 5 appointments on the East Coast. So on a pretty nice Sunday, around January 29th, we get in the van and we head east. And we're driving on I-80 to New York City, and the weather's fine. We're just pumping along, making good time. And en route, Diana's getting phone calls from her father, and he's saying, "There's a horrible storm going to hit the East Coast. You should turn around and come home." And I'm saying, don't give me that crap. I don't want to hear about that. It's fine. New Yorkers overreact. Diana's family is pathological weather overreactors. I mean, if it's going to rain, don't go anywhere today because, you might step in a puddle. In any case, I kept motoring along, and we had a nice lunch, and we're enjoying our company. And we get to New York City at around, I'd say 2:30 in the afternoon, and we go to our first stop near Greenwich Village, and I get a wonderful spot for the van right in front of the building where I'm going to go look at 1,600 books.
A parking meter?
No, there was no meter, but
Whoa.
It was a legal spot, 20 feet from the front door of this office building.
Beautiful.
And we roll in there and we meet the professor, and he shows us this 1,600 books. And I say to him, "What do you want to do with these? They're really nice. I like them." He said, "Could you get these out of here?" Mm-hmm. I'm like, "Absolutely." So we box the books up. He gives us great restaurant recommendations for Philadelphia, at which we're going to stay the following evening. So we're staying in New York this evening, and on Monday evening, we're going to dine at a great Chinese restaurant, which he highly recommends, and we're going to have grilled octopus, and we're just psyched out. We're pumped up.
By the way, I want to interject.
Please.
Back in 1995, or was it 1997, I went to Philadelphia with the wife and to see Bob Dylan perform with Patti Smith. So I can't remember if it was 95 or 97. I think it was 95. Anyway, we went with another a legend of the journals business, the head of G.H. Aero Company, a man named Jay Butler.
Oh, yeah.
A big Springsteen and Dylan fan. And we were youngsters at the time. We were 24, and they were older. And they went out with their friends, and we saw the show. And after the show ended at like 11 o'clock, they said, we're going to go get Chinese food now in Philadelphia. And I was shocked. I'm like, Chinese food in Philadelphia at 11 o'clock? What is this? And they took us to this wonderful restaurant with a big Lazy Susan in the middle.
Lazy Susan, yeah.
And there were 8 of us, and it was the greatest Chinese food we ever had.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
How was Patti Smith with Bob? Did she play with Bob or before Bob?
They duetted on one song.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
She's okay. She's not my bag.
But the Chinese food was phenomenal.
Chinese food was ridiculous.
That's great.
Anyway, I didn't mean.
All right, no, that's cool. So after getting these 1,600 books put in the van, we drive across the Brooklyn Bridge and we go to Park Slope, where a woman of advanced age who had been calling me for 4 or 5 months, I finally got the chance to visit with her because she had some books for me, chemistry books. And I was really not hyped up about it. And I'm like, I'm doing this as a favor. We're right around the corner. Okay. I pop into a beautiful apartment. The apartment had to be 2,500 square feet in Brooklyn, and it was on an upper floor. She had the greatest dog in the world. So she shows me her chemistry books. They're okay. You know,
most chemistry books are just
okay.
And
this lady had to be, I don't know, 116, 117 years old. She was.
I hope she doesn't listen to podcasts.
Advanced age. Wonderful person. I turn a corner in the apartment, and there's a wall of books I like, books in physics and math. And I say, excuse me, ma'am, you didn't tell me you were a physicist and a mathematician. She said, oh, that's my beloved husband who's long gone. Do you want those books as well? And I said, yeah, let's do the deal. So as I'm boxing the books up, she says, oh, here's a book I've written. And she hands me a published book. It's self-published, which I'm not too excited about, but then I look at it and it turns out she's a Holocaust survivor, which I find to be absolutely amazing. She survived the war in Belgium, hiding a la Anne Frank in a garret or in a barn or something like that. And I have her inscribe the book to the princess, who's waiting in the van. Box up the books, say our goodnights, and move on to our hotel. We're staying in Midtown because in the next morning we have our last appointment in Manhattan on the east side, a few blocks away from our hotel. Now, we can't get our favorite pizza, John's of Bleecker,
Yummy,
delivered to our hotel. So we're at sort of a loss. We call the hotel desk up, and they give us the recommendation of Joe's. They say, Joe's, everybody loves Joe's. Mm-hmm. Never heard of Joe's. What do I know? So Diana orders the pizza and a salad, and we order a large pizza and a large salad. And I'm on a phone call when the pizza arrives, so she goes down and gets it. And as she's coming back into the hotel room, she's laughing hysterically. Mm-hmm. What could be so damn funny about a large pizza and a large salad? Well, the large pizza was, as you can imagine. However, the large salad was a salad that you'd see at a first communion or at a wedding or at some sort of reception. There's enough salad for 20 or 30 people.
Did you not look at the cost of the salad before you ordered it?
I wondered why the whole bill came to $75.
I was going to say, it must have been a $40 salad.
Before the tip. Now I had the foresight to bring about 4 fingers of bourbon with me. So we're in the hotel room and we're enjoying the pizza and what we can of the salad, and we go to sleep afterwards. The next morning we wake up and it's Snowmageddon. Mm-hmm. Again, this is like a Flannery O'Connor story. You know something drastic or bad is going to happen. Diana's father is once again calling and saying, you got to get the hell home, get out of there. Hey, we got to go get 800 more books right down the street. It's going to be fine. New Yorkers overreact to weather.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. We load everything up into the van. We drive the 3 blocks through 4 feet of snow.
Jeez.
And we get to the apartment building, and sure enough, it's difficult. I can't get close to the curb. I'm, of course, not wearing boots. I'm wearing tennis shoes. Get in the lobby and find my way up to the ladies' apartment and get the books and get back out and realize that we can't go to Philadelphia. We have to get the hell back to Cleveland.
The roads are shut down.
And the mayor has announced all non-essential vehicles off the road.
Ooh.
We get in the Holland Tunnel.
Well, how full is the van at this point?
The van is pretty well full, but I had 2 more stops in the Philadelphia area.
So you probably have 2,000,
Exactly.
2,500
Oh, yeah.
in
The van's well weighted down. We get in the Holland Tunnel, and I'm like, this is great. The Holland Tunnel's dry. It's fine. Well, we get into the New Jersey side of the Holland Tunnel, and it's awful. So we go 47 miles in 2.5 hours.
Whoa.
And we get into central Jersey, and it's coming down like snowpocalypse. And I regret having done this. And I've driven in blizzards before, and I'm like, why is this blizzard different? Because it's 31.5 degrees and the snow is sticking to the windshield and sticking to the windshield wipers and making it very difficult to see. And I keep putting my arm out in the freezing cold and grabbing the windshield wipers and flicking the gunk off of them to no avail. Well, I did this, as I said, for 2.5 hours, and I realized that my backbone had dissolved.
Yeah.
I couldn't continue. And with great self-effacement and disdain, I turned to Diana and I said, we got to get the hell off the highway because we're going to die.
Her father was right.
So we pull off near Hackettstown, and we get on a 2-lane state road trying to find a gas station. And the telephone says the gas station should be right where we are, but you can't see because of the blizzard. It's a immense whiteout. Finally find the gas station and call a hotel, which is 7 miles away. Okay, we book a room for the night. And as we're driving to the hotel, I go over a rise with the loaded van. And as I'm going over this hill, there's some moron coming up the hill in my lane facing me.
Jeez.
So I slam the brakes on, but of course the overloaded van keeps rolling down the hill in the ice and the snow, and it's gonna be a head-on collision.
Man.
Well, I don't want to collide with anybody head-on, so I nudge the van into the hillside to the right of the lane, and the van eventually stops and misses this goof who thought he could, come right at us. So now the van's lodged in a snowbank.
Whoa.
The person moves on and gets out of the lane, but I have a trick of rocking the van out of the snowdrift, which we finally accomplish. We get out and we drive the 7 miles to the hotel, which takes about 35 minutes. It's just crawling. It's awful. We get to the hotel. There are no amenities within 10 miles of the hotel. The hotel doesn't have a restaurant. It doesn't have a bar. We check in, but a guy in the lobby says, "Oh, the Holiday Inn across the parking lot. I hear they have beer there." So I had most of my 4 fingers of my bourbon the night before, and I said, "Well, it's 2 in. I'm bored out of my mind. I'm going to go check out the beer." So I bundle up, and it was like walking in Siberia. I go across the parking lot, and sure enough, the Holiday Inn has beer.
Nice.
Score. As was said in the Blues Brothers, they have both kinds of beer.
Oh, Bud and Bud Light?
Correct.
Oh.
So more self-effacement and debasement and disappointment. I buy 3 beers for $15, 3 cans of Bud, and trudge back to the hotel room. Luckily, we had salad.
Yeah, you got plenty of salad.
And some of the pizza from the night before.
That's good.
So we did not starve to death. I ended up drinking 2 of the buds, and I couldn't bring myself to drink the third. I left it